of Ely, Cambridgeshire, August 1354. A light mist seeped from the marshes and wrapped ghostly white fingers around the stunted trees that stood amid the wasteland of sedge and reed. In the distance, a flock of geese flapped and honked in panic at something that had disturbed them. But otherwise, the desolate landscape was silent. The water, which formed black, pitchy puddles and ditches that stretched as far as the eye could see, had no ebb and flow, and was a vast, soundless blanket that absorbed everyday noises to create an eerie stillness. Matthew Bartholomew, physician and fellow of the College of Michaelhouse at the University of Cambridge, felt as though his presence in the mysterious land of bog and tangled undergrowth was an intrusion, and that to speak and shatter the loneliness and quiet would be wrong. He recalled stories from his childhood about fenland spirits and ghosts, which were said to tolerate humans only as long as they demonstrated appropriate reverence and awe. "This is a vile, God-forsaken spot," announced his colleague loudly, gazing around him with a distasteful shudder. Brother Michael was a practical man, and tales of vengeful creatures that chose to inhabit bogs held no fear for him. "It is a pity St. Etheldreda decided to locate her magnificent monastery in a place like this." "She built it here precisely because it was in the middle of the fens," said Bartholomew, glancing behind him as a bird fidgeted noisily in the undergrowth to one side. The causeway along which they rode ran between the thriving market town of Cambridge and the priory-dominated city of Ely, and was often used by merchants and wealthy clerics. Thus, it was a popular haunt for robbers, and 4 travellers comprising a richly dressed monk, a physician with a well-packed medicine bag, and 2 servants would provide a tempting target. St. Etheldreda was fleeing a husband intent on claiming his conjugal rights, and she selected Ely because she knew he would not find her here. "Did it work?" asked Cynric, Bartholomew's Welsh book-bearer, who sat in his saddle with the ease of a born horseman. Tom Meadowman, Michael's favourite beadle, rode next to him, but white-knuckled hands on the reins and his tense posture indicated that he was unused to horses and that he would just as soon be walking. Bartholomew nodded. "The legend says that she fled from the North Country to the fens almost 700 years ago. Her husband, the King of Northumbria, never found her, and she built her monastery here among the marshes. She is one of those saints whose body is as perfect now as when it went into its tomb," added Meadowman, addressing Cynric but looking at Michael, clearly intending to impress his master with his theological knowledge. "Her sister dug up the corpse a few years after it was buried and found it whole and uncorrupted. A shrine was raised over the tomb, and some Benedictine monks later came and built a cathedral over it." "I know the story," said Michael irritably. "I am a monk of Ely after all. But my point is that Etheldreda could equally well have hidden in a much nicer place than this. Just look around you. That we are riding here at all and not rowing in a boat like peasants is a testament to my priory's diligence in maintaining this causeway." "It is a testament to the huge tithes your priory demands from its tenants," muttered Cynric, casting a resentful glower at the monk's broad back. Since the great pestilence had swept through the country, claiming 1 in 3 souls, there had been fewer peasants to pay rents and tithes to landowners. Inevitably, the landowners had increased their charges. At the same time, the price of bread had risen dramatically, but wages had remained low, so there was growing resentment among the working folk toward their wealthy overlords. Cynric sided wholly with the peasants, and seldom missed an opportunity to point out the injustice of the disparity between rich and poor to anyone who would listen. Meadowman shot his companion an uneasy glance, and Bartholomew suspected that while he might well agree with the sentiments expressed by Cynric, he was reluctant to voice his support while Michael was listening. Besides being the Bishop of Ely's most trusted agent, a Benedictine monk, and